Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. Tonight, we're taking a look at what happened Saturday at NXT Deadline. Here we go. So, match number one, the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Now, this is a brand new match, new concept, uh, and for a first, I really liked it. Uh, Now, all women in this match want to face Mandy Rose for the title, which is kind of normal. So, order that ladies came in, Roxanne Perez and Zoe started the match. Then we had Kiana James, Cora Jade, and Indy Hartwell in this order. So first fall went to Zoe Stark on Roxanne Perez. Then Cora Jade gets the second fall on Kiana James. Indy Hartwell gets a fall on Roxanne Perez. So Roxanne was down one fall on three opponents. Then she came back, scored a pinfall on Zoe Stark, scored a pinfall on Cora Jade to win the match. So what does that mean for each lady then? Okay. So first of all, for Roxanne, of course, it means that she's going to face Mandy Rose for the title. Now, in this match, I had two possible results that I was looking at. First of all, if they want to have a face versus heel match for the title, Roxanne Perez being the only face in the match, the only baby face in the match, was going to win this match. If that's what NXT, well, the WWE management wanted. Second outcome I had in mind was Zoe Stark winning the match with all the momentum, with her recent heel turn, and the couple of victories she had in the recent weeks. I thought that she would have taken it to go against Mandy again. Now, in this match, you had Roxanne, you had Cora, and you had Zoe Stark that had a shot at Mandy. Now, what I think, Roxanne, after Halloween Havoc, I did say that Roxanne would need at least another big feud before facing off against Mandy Rose again. Now, that at that time I didn't know about the Iron Survivor Challenge. This match, with the concept of it, replaces that big feud for Roxanne. She came out on top of four opponents in that match, and since it's a first and like it was to establish number one contender for the Mandy's title, she succeeded. Now, is Roxanne going to take the title? I think so. There's a big possibility. First of all, Mandy's been champion for over 400 days now, and I think it's time for her to lose the title. I'll come back on that. What it means for the other opponents. Well, Zoe Stark did get a pinfall on Roxanne Perez. So if Roxanne wins the title, that means that Zoe Stark can claim that she already beat Roxanne. Same thing with Indy Hartwell. Indy can say, "Hey, I pinned you in the Iron Survivor Challenge. I'm worthy of a title shot." So right there, you have two possible opponents for Roxanne Perez with a claim that they already beat her. And of course, you have Cora Jade. And I did say after the match at Halloween Havoc that Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez would face off again uh, for the title in the future. So the only woman there that I didn't name right now is Kiana James. She didn't get a win. She didn't get a pinfall in there. Are they burying Kiana? I don't think so. Uh, what I think is happening is Kiana is not ready yet for the main event. She was there to continue further down, establish herself, but they didn't feel the need to give her a fall in that match. Consider the four other women in the match superior to her. Now, coming back to Mandy's title, uh, I think it's the right time for Mandy to lose the title. She doesn't have anything else to prove in NXT, and she doesn't have anything else to prove. Uh, what I mean is, uh, Toxic Attraction doesn't have anything else to prove in NXT. So I think as soon as Mandy loses her title, they're going to get called up and probably on SmackDown because that's the brand that needs the most help right now in the women's division. So on to the second match. So match number 2, Isla Dawn versus Alba Fire. First right prediction of the evening. Now, Isla Dawn is looking to establish dominance in the NXT, and Alba Fire in this match wants to get revenge for uh, Isla Dawn costing her the title, the NXT title in the last woman standing match against Mandy Rose. Now, at one point, the referee, the commentators Booker T and I think it was Vic Peters, I think his name is. They make a reference to the referee being the same guy that got sprayed with Isla Dawn's mist on Tuesday night. So you knew there was something that would be happening in this match with the referee somewhere down the line, and it did. Uh, when Alba went for the Swanton Bomb, you see Isla Dawn grab the ankle of the referee. He's freaking out. He goes to the corner. Alba does her Swanton Bomb, covers. Uh, Alba Fire does the Swanton. I'm not sure if I said that Isla or whatever, but Alba does the Swanton, covers Isla. Referee is, you see him in the back. He's looking sick, has black stuff coming out of his mouth. So that's because Isla, the Enchantress, uh, has some kind of weird powers. That's how they sell her, and referee couldn't make the count. So another referee comes in, and with that other referee, Isla Dawn wins the match with their finishing maneuver. So this feud, I said in my prediction that if Alba would win, the feud would be over, and Alba would go back against Mandy for the title. If Isla Dawn won, the feud is not over. They would continue to fight between themselves. That's exactly what happened. That's the storyline I had going. So let's go to match number 3. Pretty Deadly versus the New Day. Yeah, you heard that right. WWE SmackDown's The New Day. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. First of all, what a match. You saw that Pretty Deadly really can work, really can have great matches, and That match was very good. Now, just a parenthesis. Pretty Deadly. They remind me of some classic tag teams. Uh, well, one of them is classic. The other one, not so much. But uh, they remind me a lot of the Midnight Express. And now I'm not comparing Pretty Deadly to the Midnight Express. Not at all. I'm just saying that the way they work, the way they remind me of the Midnight Express, their heel ways and everything. But I'm not comparing both teams there. I'm not saying that they're as great of. I'm just saying that they remind me of them. The other team that Pretty Deadly reminds me of, and that's the WWF team back then, was the Beverly Brothers. You know, Bo and Blake Beverly. They remind me a little bit of them. So a mix of the two, let's say. So just going on there. New Day, what I had was I thought in my prediction what would happen is that New Day would almost win the match, but they would not win the title because of an interference by Imperium. Did not happen. New Day win the match and are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do the. No, I'm not going to do that. So on to match number 4. So the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. Order that the participants came in, JD McDonough and Axiom started the match. Now, if you remember, for those who follow NXT, if you remember, JD McDonough injured Axiom a couple of weeks ago, uh, a knee injury. Then came Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, and Joe Gacy. Now, Grayson Waller did not even have time to come in, and it was already one fall for Carmelo Hayes. Scored a pinfall on Axiom. Then Waller gets in and gets back-to-back pins on Axiom and JD McDonough. So Waller gets up 2-1 and 0-0-0 on the other three. Then Axiom gets out of the penalty box and scores pinfalls on both Grayson Waller and JD McDonough. So Axiom ties up Grayson Waller. Gacy gets in. So you see, Gacy comes in. He's already down 2 falls. Doesn't matter. Gacy comes in, submits Axiom, 1 fall. And then gets a fall on Carmelo Hayes. So he's up at 2 as well. So you have 3 guys at 2 falls. Then Carmelo Hayes scores a pinfall, submits Grayson Waller to go up at 2 falls as well. Then Waller gets a pin on Axiom, taking advantage of Hayes' finisher, and he wins the match. After that fall, he sees there's almost no time left, so he just runs around the ring to let the time fly and wins the match. Now, what that means, first of all, JD McDonough, no falls in the match. Does that mean he's getting buried? I don't think so either. It's just that he did lose to Braun Breaker. He didn't win at Halloween Havoc. Then he lost the match to Apollo Crews. So he's on a downward spiral right now. What's going to happen to him? I don't know. We'll see how it goes in the next few weeks. 3 guys had 2 falls. Carmelo Hayes, Axiom, and Joe Gacy. Now, Axiom did get a pin on Waller. And Hayes did get a pin, a submission on Waller as well. So now Grayson Waller is the number one contender. If he wins the title against Braun Breaker, that would mean that Carmelo Hayes could say, "Hey, I beat you. I want a match." Axiom can say, "I beat you. I want a match." And one other guy can say the same thing, Apollo Crews. So we'll come back to Apollo for when I analyze his match. So for the other guys, they got 2 falls each, except JD McDonough. So that means that they are right up there on a level playing field, almost with Grayson Waller. Now, for the match itself, was very good. I like the concept. Uh, the, the earlier you come in, the earlier you can get pinfalls, you can gain an advantage. The later you come in, the fresher you are, your opponents are banged up, so it can be an advantage too. So it's a balance between the time you come in and how banged up your opponents are when you come in, if you come in last. So I like the concept. Maybe it needs a little bit of work, but I like it. So maybe we can have this maybe an annual event or something, or when you really want, you don't know who to put as number one contender, or you want to build somebody up, you make this match possible. Now let's go to the main event. So main event of the evening, Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews for the NXT Championship. Now, in my analysis, in my predictions, I said that those two guys were a lot alike. Braun maybe had a small advantage strength-wise. Apollo did have an advantage, a small advantage in agility, but basically those two guys are very evenly matched. Uh, and I did say in my prediction it was a toss-up. Uh, Now, during the match, you see Apollo's attitude change a little bit. You see him closing his eyes, and when he opens them back, he's like more. He wants to be more aggressive or something. But it was not enough for him to win the match. Braun Breaker wins the match with a spear. And what I thought would happen after the match, uh, Apollo would be so disappointed that he would have turned heel on Braun and maybe go after the title as a heel after. Did not happen. Instead, it was Grayson Waller who came in, attacked Braun, gave him his rolling stunner. That's, I think, his finishing move, one of his finishing moves, and posed with the title after the match. Now, if Grayson Waller wins the title against Braun Breaker, Apollo Crews then can say to Grayson Waller, "Hey, I beat you. I beat you in that match on Halloween Havoc. So I want a title shot." So that could be the way that Apollo wins the NXT title eventually, but we're not there yet. Is Grayson Waller going to take the title off Braun Breaker? I don't think so right now, but make me change my mind. NXT, make me change my mind. Uh, we'll see how this feud develops. Uh, Probably the match is going to take place on January 10th at New Year's Evil, and we'll see then what's going to happen. So I'll probably have a predictions um, video for New Year's Evil. One more thing before I go. Uh, I started following NXT uh, more for the last few months now, and probably starting in 2023, I will be doing videos about analysis of results from NXT weekly show. So until then, hope you have a nice evening. Uh, I'm gonna come back this week with my Raw analysis. I haven't had time to watch it yet. With Tuesday night. Uh, Yesterday I had my Christmas party at my job, so that's why I couldn't watch Raw. I'm watching it a little bit tonight, and probably I'm gonna do my videos tomorrow night. So look for them on Wednesday or Thursday night. So have a nice evening, and bye bye.